学生们好 Welcome to our first lessons for geometry. Our two lessons for today are going to talk about the basic characteristics of shapes and the categories of them. And we're going to also look at Venn diagrams and how we use them to classify and identify shapes. You can go ahead and label your notebook lesson 1.1. That means unit 1, lesson 1. Also, feel free to pause this video at any time so that you can write things down, as I might go a little bit quicker than you can write. So pause whenever you need. Our learning target for our first lesson is I can identify the names and characteristics of basic shapes using Venn diagrams. This is a very complicated learning target. There are basically two parts to it. The first part is talking about the names and the characteristics of basic shapes. The second part of it is using Venn diagrams. So we're going to break into two essential questions. The first essential question, EQ, is talking about names and characteristics of shapes. And the second essential question, EQ2, will be talking about Venn diagrams. Our language objectives for the lesson is I can describe the characteristics of shapes. Here are some sentence frames that you will be using. Notice that they have hashtags, so right now you don't have to write them down. Anytime you see a hashtag, that means you don't need to write that down. And I'll remind you when to write and when to not write. Our first essential question. What are the kinds of shapes and their characteristics? Here are some shapes to get you thinking. You don't need to draw these. Notice that I have a hashtag at the front of this slide, so you don't have to write anything down. This will be an exercise. What names of shapes do you remember? So on your slide, try to match the names of the shapes together with their diagrams. You'll see these names on the left and shapes on the right. Try to match them together with what you remember. Go ahead and pause this video so you can practice. This should be the correct pairing of the names and shapes. Let's remind each other about the shapes on the left side. Triangles, I hope everybody remembers. It is a three-sided shape, hence the tri. Quadrilateral is a four-sided shape. Quadra means four, lateral has to do with sides. Pentagon, penta means five, it has five sides. Hexagon, hexa means six. Heptagon has 7, octagon has 8, nonagon has 9, and finally decagon has 10 sides. But the gon part actually means something else. We'll talk about that in a second. Draw the shapes and write their names down for the ones that you don't remember. Go ahead and pause the video for that.